Hello everyone, I'm Howard Berger from Realcomm, and I'm here to my immediate right, Ilene Goldfine, Senior Vice President, Chief Digital Strategy Officer at Hines. And to Ilene's right, Bayron Lopez, Director Operational Technology at Kilroy Realty. And to the far right, Neil Ross, Senior Director, CRE Tech and Product Management at Walmart. I mean, first of all, I want to thank you all for all of the time, energy, and effort you guys put in to being co-chairs this year. I don't know if you had a good idea of the amount of input we would be asking when you signed up for the job, but it was, I know it was a lot, and we really appreciate all your efforts. I think for you folks who are listening in, we always kick off the opening session of our general session at the conference, where our CEO, Jim Young, he hosts a discussion with our IBCon and Realcomm chairs, who you heard from. You've heard from our Realcomm chairs a little bit earlier today. We discussed some of the big topics impacting the industry. So let me just ask, how do you guys think it went this morning?
It was good. It was good. I mean, the pace was good. Everything that I've heard from people, you know, they like the topics, they like the fast-paced kind of conversational stuff, and you know, everybody was focused on us. No, I think all the presentations were great, and I think it really aligned to the themes that we've been talking about over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think, Howard, I think it was great conversations. I mean, we all sync very well. I think the synergy amongst all of us has been great, and hopefully the message got across of what we were trying to convey to everyone. So,
well, and I'd say, I mean, we had fun. Like, I think you could honestly say we all had fun, and I know hopefully the audience and everything saw that. I think, right, we sync, we enjoy each other's company. We clearly have been spending time together, you know, and all that, and hopefully that came across.
I mean, that came across, I mean, in a big way to me. The chemistry, not only just between you three on the Realcomm side, and when we got everybody together, you guys just flowed. It just looked like you were just in the groove. And
well, we were joking around that, like, most of the calls we had with you all, you guys were like, "Can you stop talking? Can you stop talking?"
Yeah, I just thought it went really, really well. We had a good opportunity. I know, and honestly, I do know how it was a lot of work putting that together. People behind the scenes don't have any idea of what goes into the production of something like that, but the end product, I thought it was brilliant this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Great.
Appreciate it.
It was great. So one of the things that we did this morning, we asked you guys to come up with, short phrases on, general themes, things that are, topics of importance, and also key takeaways, which I think were elemental to the discussions this morning. Maybe let's just go around and talk a little bit about what your key topics were, and then a little bit about your takeaways, and just kind of rehash it for the Realcomm Live audience who didn't get a chance to see it. You want to start, Neil?
Sure. So, I mean, from the moment that we started talking, I talked about the importance of data and having good quality data and understanding what to do with it and how to turn data into insights. And my takeaway was, as I got back out on the floor and people stopped to talk to me about the presentation, the topics that we put out there resonated with all of them. They struggle, and I think we're all kind of working toward the same goal. And the struggles are kind of the same. The pinch points and the pain points are the same. So that's what really kind of resonated with me.
Yeah, and I heard that. I heard that multiple times today. That what folks heard really reflected, what their challenges were. And I heard it between everybody who was on that stage that you all were in sync on those major
Even
issues.
in the side presentations, it was about how do you leverage data, how do you use technology tools to get access to more insights.
Right. And a big focus on the fundamentals. Right. You cannot get there unless you start here.
Yeah. And I think that's the big takeaway for all of us, right? In order to get to the data point, we have to have the infrastructure, we have to have the technology, and if we're moving that fast, we need to make sure that we get to it now, right? Because if we want to get to the automation and the AI we need to start the process now, or keep on the process now. Without the infrastructure, you won't get there. And having that technology in place is needed, especially what we've seen here in the expo hall. There's so much infrastructure, technology, systems that are going to feed the data, but we need to start moving on it now.
Yeah, you got to be ready for it.
Well, I'd say, I think what was key about the 6 of us today was all of these tie together. They are pieces of the puzzle that tie together. So there wasn't anything that you looked at from one lens and said, well, that doesn't make sense. They all tied to get to these ultimate outcomes and things like that. And I think that was really important to see that come together in the session today. And I think that, in my opinion, what we are doing here, what we're talking about here, is to bring the community together more to solve these challenges, right? And that's really what's important, is recognizing, we talked about this a lot,
Sure.
is come talk to us, come talk to all of us, and it doesn't matter which angle we are, it doesn't matter which size company, it doesn't matter if you're occupier or not, come talk to us so that we can all do it together and actually really make the change that needs to happen right now. So I think that was the key.
And it's easier with whiskey if you guys want to talk to us,
Way
but
easier
but
with whiskey.
don't be
The
afraid to
whiskey
come and
was
chat.
good.
Yeah, come on.
You
where'd
guys
it go?
enjoyed that whiskey a little too much.
Where did it go? Because I was expecting
Nobody
it
said,
right now.
no.
I know.
So after the session, Jim brings the bottle of whiskey back behind stage, gets the whole AV team together, and the rest of the Realcomm team pours everybody a shot.
yeah.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Hey, 9,
we got
10
some
a.m.
mileage out of
is
that.
no
Yeah.
problem. Yes.
Yep. So, I was thinking, you guys come from, you all represent, mature organizations with very, strong leadership that's, very much in tune with, enabling, using technology to enable, and very supportive of it. How do we bring in and how do we help those organizations that may not have the advantage of having, super strong leadership that's tech focused, or perhaps even the ability to really be able to articulate that business case?
Well, so we talked about that in the panel I was on about, does the size of your organization matter? And I think there's pros and cons of being a big organization. I think there's pros and cons of being a small organization. Like, it is not easier because Hines is big to do stuff. I mean, it's not. What you have to know is know your organization, go after what your organization actually really needs. Like, that's my opinion. I mean, I think that's what you're doing with Walmart. And so what does your organization need, and what is going to resonate with your leadership, okay? For us, we started our data journey, 10 years ago, and we said, okay, we need to, this is a bunch of people that are very structured, very analytical just by nature, so we need to prove to them that data works, okay? So we did this
Right.
process, and then we went and took the data and then back tested things and showed things and all that, and they went, okay, we are in, and so data works. But that's what worked with our organization. Not every organization is like that, so you've got to figure out what it is in your organization. The size doesn't matter, it's just that there's different people in these different organizations, and something matters to them related to this. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It could be happy tenants paying rent. Guess what? Go after that angle,
Yep.
right? It could be X or it could be Y. And I think that's what you have to do, is what resonates in your organization, and that gets you going.
It's the business appetite, right? Whether that's risk, financial growth, that appetite that your company has, whether you're a small player looking to potentially keep your strategic partnerships in place, or a company looking to double your square footage in the next year. It's all in the appetite that the business has. And there's multiple ways to approach it. You just got to figure out what that strategy is for you, and how to skin the cat, basically, right? How do we get there, make sure it's working, and deploy something that will work for you, because it's all different.
Yeah, I think you've got to figure out how your organization perceives business value, right? And you work to that. You work to deliver that value that the organization is expecting out of these objectives and outcomes. And for me, I've assembled a team of subject matter experts to help us get there, but we also bring in external voices. We go out and we talk to peers in the industry about how they're doing things, and we roll that together and we figure out what is the best practice that we can go and deploy with what we've got, and use that as a starting point to establish a baseline for how we're going to operate based on data and insights. And then what's the roadmap for continuing to grow those capabilities? A lot of organizations using technology is new to them.
Yeah.
Using data to drive business decisions is new to them. Now they do it on the, in Walmart, you do that on the retail side. You do that based on product data and consumer data and all those things. But how we operate a building, how we deliver services and workplace experiences within that building, using data is new to a lot of organizations, and you've got to get a good mix of voices in the room to be able to define and drive those value propositions.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that goes to what we're talking about holistically, is that no matter which role you're in which organization, it is your job, and I say it a lot, change management, people and all that, but it's your job to show it to them. It's your job to bring them there. It's your job to do that. And that's what makes all of this successful, right? And I think, we joked around at some point in time, and I sent those slides of, so your leader says, I want to go do AI, okay?
Yeah.
Well, they're just on a panel just like this with the other leaders, and they're like, we're doing AI, and they don't know what that means. It's your job to basically say, this is what this means, this is how we get there, this is what we do, and lead them there. They don't know, and so that's all of our jobs in whatever place we are in the organization.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I was struck by one thing. When Sandeep was talking from CBRE, because I've been thinking a lot about how do you upskill your organization? How do you develop skills both internally? Yes, you can always use external resources, but really the goal is either upskilling or finding those skill sets that you can integrate in your organization. And when I was just really struck about when he talked about doing that hackathon with 500 of his employees across the business units, not necessarily IT or data folks, to uncover new use cases for AI. Not everybody can do that, but to me that's kind of another level. Really,
that's change management. That's bringing people along. That's like, you need to understand, because what I'm going to say about that is that, so if you bring all the people in the room to go do that, they have to say, I want to go do this. Wait, I can't do that because I don't have this, right? So it actually gets to this whole thing about the change management, which is, I think this AI thing is the best thing since sliced bread, but then they realize, it doesn't matter. I can't do that, or I can't get there. And so I think that's just it's all change management. It's helping the education, almost the organization educate themselves in that way. And I think that's an important part.
You've also got to manage expectations, perception of what AI is and isn't. And
sure.
At the business level, that's not understood a lot of times. So we've held a lot of workshops to inform our business leadership. What can I do with AI today? Well, you don't have enough data to leverage AI, but here's the roadmap to get there.
That's education.
Yeah,
it's just education.
So you've got to educate. You've got to inform that perception and correct it in some places, and then find those sweet spots where you can apply technology to data sets that you already have. We used to call these open data projects, and we would, but now you don't have to put 50 people on it. You just put, language models on it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're out of time. We've actually been out of time for a minute or two.
Yeah.
But I was just engrossed in the conversation. I first of all, I just want to thank you all for everything that you've done as our I'd Be Kind co-chairs. It was phenomenal. You helped us put on, I think, one of the best conferences, definitely one of the best general sessions we've ever had. And just thank you for everything you do for Realcomm and the community.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank Jim. Thank the entire Realcomm organization. I mean,
get involved though.
This takes a village.
Get involved, right?
It does.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And with that, it's a wrap.